Good, so you don't need to do anything with your legs, just those alternate single arm reaches to the ceiling. So you're going to feel the shoulder blade, but also maybe that side of your back to the right of your spine, and then when you lift your left arm to the left of the spine, your back lifting. But the pelvis is remaining still. So it is bringing us into a little bit of rotation as well by not moving your pelvis. So in your peripheral view, your knees shouldn't be moving. One more with each arm. Good, keep your arms up, but shoulder blades touching the floor. With an inhale, open your arms. If you're touching your neighbour, take your arms a little higher or a little lower, agree between the two of you, and then close your arms back in. Just lightly touch your 10 fingertips together. Inhale, open. Exhale, now just touch 4 fingertips together. Inhale, open. Exhale, 3 fingertips together. One thing that's not going to get hot tonight, and that's our brain. So maybe we'll do some brain exercises. 2 fingers together. Inhale, open. Exhale, just 1 set of fingers touching. Do the same thing, working your way back up to 5. So we're going back to 2 now. Inhaling as you open. Exhale, 3. Inhale, open. Exhale, 4. Inhale, open. All 10 fingertips touching again. Separate your hands so they're facing each other. Lift both arms, both shoulders off the ground. Lower both arms. Inhale, if you're like me and you're not wearing a t-shirt and your skin is touching the mat, maybe you're lifting the mat off the floor with your back. Is it just me that's that sweaty? So shoulders lift, but your head stays down. Do a few more of those. A really, really excellent way of not doing much, but actually doing a lot. Keep your head on the floor. Yeah, that's it. Doing a lot for your upper back and shoulder mobility. Last time. Good. So now keep your arms in the air and take one arm down by your side and one arm behind as you inhale, and then bring them through the center as you exhale. Inhale, go the other way. Exhale to center. Stop in center each time. Inhale as you extend. Exhale back to center and feeling like you're plugging in to the center position. Inhale. And exhale. When you plug your arms, you know, like when you've got something like a piece of equipment, and let's say you're sliding 2 poles together and there's a little notch that one of the poles lands in and notches itself in so then they don't slide. I'm sure there's a proper term for that, but feel like that's with your arms. So they're moving apart from each other and then they meet in the center and they slot into their notch. And that's going to come from your core muscles. So each time both arms point to the ceiling and pause, feel it's your notch slotting in from your core muscles, activating some control and some engagement. So inhale as they move. Exhale, your arms meet in center and your core muscles slot it into place. Not that your core muscles are moving much, but it's just giving you that little bit of focus and attention on pausing, engaging. Do that one more time with each arm extending opposite direction. Okay, then with your arms up toward the ceiling, keep them there, your palms face each other, shoulders resting on the floor, light foot a little lighter on the ground, and lower back a little heavier on the ground, like you're trying to squash the gap of air underneath your lower back. Slide your right foot down the mat, maybe just off the mat, and then slide it back in again. Keep that little pressure in your lower back as you switch feet. Go out with the left leg, and in with the left leg. Then the right leg, inhale as you extend. Exhale back to center. Then left leg, inhale, extend. Exhale, center. Now we've got our arms in their locked position. And that means that we're also going to feel that we've locked our core in position, so that when your legs move one at a time, not both of them moving, there's only ever one leg moving, your core muscles are braced, holding your pelvis still. Try not to let your leg be heavy on the mat, because that means you're going to rely upon your leg's weight in your heel, but let your leg be really light on the mat so you're relying upon your core strength. Then we'll try and coordinate some arms. So everyone have their feet flat to the floor. We're going to go right leg extends and left arm goes back. So as you do that, the right arm will come by your side And then back to center, back into that start position, everything slots in. Then the left leg extends and your right arm goes back, left arm by your side, and then slot back in, engage. So we've got right leg, left arm extending, and then back to center. Left leg and right arm extending, and back to center. The other arm comes down by your side. So the arms and the legs are doing exactly what they did before. We've just now coordinated it. And I'm going to have a quick glance around and check if all that got that coordination right. But I'm looking and thinking we've got a full 100% success rate there, which is rare and impressive. We might be the gentle Pilates group, but we're not the beginners Pilates group. We're advanced when it comes to the brain stuff, the coordination stuff. One more each leg, each switch. Good, and then when you're back to center, can you take your hands behind the back of your head, interlacing your fingers, let your elbows lift in line with the tip of your nose, and then bring your elbows further up so that they're more narrow and wider as you inhale, line with the tip of the nose. Exhale, elbows narrow. Inhale, elbows open. When your elbows narrow, engage your belly muscles like you're squeezing your tummy muscles as narrow as your elbows go, inhaling. Exhale, elbows narrow and squeeze the belly muscles in. You're not just pulling your belly button back. It's like you're narrowing the sides of your waist. Just like, imagine your elbows are squeezing the sides of your waist in. For now, your head's staying on the block. Okay, then keep your elbows in line with the tip of your nose. Inhale. Exhale, abdominal curl with that same feeling of your waist narrowing in, but without narrowing the elbows. Inhale as you go down. Exhale, curl up with that feeling of narrowing the waist. Inhaling as you go down. Keep going like that. What we want to also include in this is in your abdominal curl, your pelvic floor muscles come up. So think of pelvic floor muscles pulling away from your the crotch of your trousers or pulling away from your legs. We want to keep the lower back long, exactly as it is, whether you're in the curl or the lower. The pelvis doesn't move. A couple more. Try not to let your knees move or your buttocks squeeze. It's the pelvic floor rather than your glutes. One more. When you go down, take your hands to the block behind your head and slide that out. Take the thicker of your two blocks, that's the 2-inch block probably, underneath your bottom, and then go into a full body stretch with your 2-inch block under your bottom to begin with. Arms and legs extend and see how that feels. Arms overhead, feet to the bottom of your mat. No need to put too much effort into that stretch. In fact, we sometimes get more from this if we just relax. Take 2 more full breaths there and pay attention to your exhale, and more to the point, the end of your exhale where there's a moment before you inhale again. 1 more. Right to the end of your exhale. Good. Then bring your feet flat to the floor. Take the block out from underneath your bottom. We're going to take the arms back up in the air once your bottom's landed. Keep your arms straight up, but have your palms facing away from you, so palms facing the front of the room. Engage in your feet, so your feet make contact with the floor purposefully. Curl your tailbone up and roll your spine up into bridge. Then pause at the top. You want to make sure that the whole of your shoulder blade is still on the floor, but the beginning of your rib cage has lifted off the floor. And then roll the rib cage, your lower back, your pelvis back to the floor. Inhale. Exhale, roll up again like that, pressing through your feet, working your way up through your spine, but stopping as soon as you get to the shoulder blades, and then rolling back down 1 more time like that. When you roll up and you stop, level with your shoulder blades, but you can keep lengthening your lower back toward the back of your knees, and roll back down. So we're going to add to that. As you roll up, push your arms downwards toward the floor. Inhale at the top where you press into your arms. And exhale, roll back down, letting your arms float back up to the ceiling. Inhale, back at the start position. Exhale, roll up, arms press down. Inhale at the top. Exhale, roll down, arms come back up. Inhale. Exhale, roll up, arms press down. This next one, we're going to take the arms all the way overhead. Inhale at the top. Exhale, roll down and your arms come all the way over. When your pelvis has landed, your arms are overhead. Roll back up again as your arms slowly move at the time of your spine moving. So when you get to the top, your arms are about landed. And then roll back down at the same time your arms make that whole journey so everything lands simultaneously. Let's go a couple more of those. So when you're at the top, your arms are at the ground. And when your arms are all the way behind, your bottom has landed. This is different to how we normally do it. So this is again a little bit of a brain train, getting us to do what maybe isn't our habitual pattern of movement. When your bottom has landed, your arms are all the way over behind. When your bottom is in the air, your arms are on the floor. Go one more round. When you are down and your arms are over behind, keep that position. Find neutral with a little imprint in your lower back, especially because our arms are overhead. Try and get your lowest ribs to point more down towards your waist. Inhale. Exhale, your arms come down toward the floor, an abdominal curl with that little squeeze in the sides of the waist. Abdominal curl so the head and shoulders are up, yeah? Bottom has stayed on the floor. Lower back is down, that's it. Good. Inhale, your arms go back. When I say abdominal curl, it means our tummy muscles are pulling our head and shoulders off the ground. That's your plain abdominal curl. Inhaling as you lower, arms back. Exhaling as you curl. Anyone with neck issues, arthritis, osteoporosis in the neck, you might just keep your hands behind your head as we did earlier, but watch out for the elbows not narrowing. So abdominal curling, but the pelvis doesn't move. Make sure there's no action of the tailbone lifting. We want to keep the tailbone down. We've got a couple more. Next time you lift, stay lifted. So we're going to curl up, stay in that abdominal curl, bring your hands behind your head, elbows in line with the tip of your nose. We're going to rotate your left shoulder towards your right hip and then come back to the center without going to the floor. Rotate right shoulder towards left hip. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate, glance at your knees and they're moving. Inhale, center. See if you can rotate your upper body without the knees moving. Also, a bit like when we were reaching our arm off the ground right at the beginning, feel how you're lifting the whole one side of your back. So when you twist to the left, everything from the right side of your spine in that right shoulder area comes up away from the ground. And when you go to the right, the left shoulder blade, the left side of your upper back lifts off the ground. Good. Knees are still staying steady so the pelvis doesn't move, just rotate the upper back. Go one more each side, so you're going to finish when you go to the left. Left will be your last. When you've done that last one to the left, you can go back down and let's go to a butterfly stretch with your legs. So your knees drop apart and arms straight out wide. Inner thigh stretch. Did I see a wasp over here, or is it just a fly? Oh, it's just a big fly. I'll get him out with my cup. Okay, bring your knees in together. And let's cross your right leg all the way over the left leg. So some of you might not have done this before. Instead of ankle on knee, you're actually going to cross your thigh bone over to try and close the gap between your legs. And then turn onto the inside edge of your left foot and let your legs fall to the right. Legs fall to the right, Rachel. That's it. So your right leg kind of carrying the legs over, and you've gone onto the inside edge of your left ankle bone. And if you want to, you can even walk that left foot a little further toward the left so your legs can fall a bit further. Rest your right hand on your tummy and left arm in cactus shape and turn your gaze to your left arm. Gives you a nice little stretch down your outer hip on that left side. Stretches into tightness around the back of your pelvis. Bit heavier in your left wrist. Come back up to centre. Now take the other cross, so it's your right ankle onto the left knee. Hang on, sorry, everyone undo the leg. What I didn't mean was cross the left leg over. So you're doing what I call the gentleman's cross. You've just done the ladies' cross where you cross at the thigh bone. Now do the gentleman's version where you put your ankle bone onto the knee. So that's right ankle bone on left knee. Bring the left leg off the floor, hands behind the left thigh. If you need to wrap your band around the back of the left thigh, then you can. So we're now in the one that you might be a bit more familiar with. If your head has fallen back, put one or both of those blocks behind your head. Release your left foot down, right leg in the air with your stretchy band. Oh, I didn't see where he went. He's gone. Ooh. Oh, I think he's in the room still. Sorry, that was a bit childish. It's only a fly. It's only a fly. It was a big one though. It's underneath your blue block. Hiding. Two or three more breaths there with your right leg in a hamstring stretch, using that band to straighten it the best you can. Nice. Okay, take the band off, bend your right leg 90 degrees, put your left hand on your left hip point. Put your right foot, everyone put one of the blocks behind the head as well, because your head can easily fall back here. So one or both of the blocks behind your head if you haven't already. If you don't normally use one, just put the thinner one under. Put your right fingertips onto your right knee. Engage your core muscles, that's pelvic floor, and the muscles around your waist, and the muscles in your back. Holding the pelvis still. Now use your fingers to guide your right thigh bone in a circular movement. So it'll feel like your knee is making a circle, but actually it's the thigh bone directing the knee to circle. In your peripheral view, see that the left knee isn't moving, and feel that your pelvis is staying really steady on the floor. Then change direction. If I look at your pelvis, it shouldn't be moving, but the thigh bone is. And your left hand's just checking that that left hip point isn't moving. Good. Now straighten your left leg flat down on the floor and take your right leg straight up in the air. Arms out wide so they act a bit like stabilizers. Point your foot. Now take the leg across the line of your body without the right hip lifting. Circle down away from you toward the front of the room. Circle wide. Circle back up and round, and then keep circling that direction. Your thigh bone making a similar size circle to what it did earlier, but now you've got a straight leg. If you want to make them bigger, you can, but make sure the pelvis doesn't move and your core muscles are stabilizing you. Then change direction. If you find that your leg is just drawing a circle on the front wall of the room rather than up in the air, you might be better to stick with the bent knee option. One more this direction. Keep the pelvis as steady as you can. Good. And then that leg goes to the floor, leg bent. Good. And we'll do everything on the left side. So you're now putting the, what did we start with? The left thigh bone all the way over. Did we not do one before that? No? What was the one? Yeah, okay. So ladies cross, left thigh bone over right thigh bone, drop your legs across toward the left, wriggling your foot onto the edge, so the inside edge of your right foot. And I know it's hard to tell which foot's which in this movement. So legs the other way, Leslie. Legs drop into the left. No, your cross was fine. Left leg over, and then legs fall to the left. That's it. Look towards your right, cactus shape arm. I just had a feeling we did something before that. Did we not? What did we come from? I should remember myself really, shouldn't I? But
it's hard.
Thank you for that excuse, Camilla. I appreciate that. It's all down to the heat, yes. Who cares? We're not doing it. Good, okay, come back up to centre. Now the gentleman's cross, so that's left ankle bone onto the knee and hands behind the back of your right thigh as you bring it in. I'll have to watch the replay back later. Otherwise, that's going to keep me awake. What a saddo. And then we take the right foot down, band around your left foot, left leg up in the air. So your left leg is straight, keep the hip down on the ground. Pushing the knee as straight as you can. I've remembered, and it's not something we do on one side, it was just the butterfly stretch. It was the butterfly stretch, yeah. And then I got distracted by the big fly. That's my excuse. Yeah. Go take some nice full breaths into the back of your leg. Good. So when you take the band off, bend that leg 90 degrees. Right hand on your right hip point, left fingers on the left knee, just to guide it in its circle. Yep, right elbow down, Camilla, and rest your hand on the hip. Circle the knee round, or circle the thigh bone more to the point, and keep your pelvis as steady as you can. Switch your hands over, Teresa. So that's it, there you go. It'll be easier to reach. So rather than circling the lower leg, although your lower leg is moving, that's not the bit that you're trying to move, you're circling the thigh bone. If we haven't changed direction, then do. So the pelvis stays really still as your thigh bone makes that circle. Like, think of if a plant gets blown around in the wind, but its roots in the ground remain steady. So let your pelvis be your roots to the ground. Okay, now if you're staying with the bent leg, that's absolutely fine. Let's try it with the right leg flat on the floor, and then option to straighten your left leg up in the air. Arms out wide for some stability, circling your left leg round, cross over the midline first, and then complete the circle. So each time you make your circle, you're crossing the midline of your body, but without letting your hip lift. Now, some people, me included on one side only, get clunks and clicks in the hip. If that happens for you, it's not a nice feeling, go to the bent leg version. That will stop the clunking, or should stop the clunking. Try your right leg straight, Sue, if you can. That's it, and it doesn't get in the way. Or partially straight if it's too much. I think we've gone both directions a few times, haven't we? Yep, bend the knee into your chest when you're done, and gather the other knee up into your chest as well, so both knees in. Little squeeze in and out. Lovely, lovely. Pop your feet down onto the floor, turn onto your right side, and let's do some nice cooling fan arm opens. Also known as chalk circles, but tonight we're going to use them as a fan. We'll do a few different variations so that we can get really quite open in our shoulder. First of all, knees bent, arms in front, the regular chalk circle that we all know and love, circling round, following with your chest and your head as you circle all the way around behind. Both knees are in front, your knees stay together. Remember, I've only got one leg straight because I'm standing on it. Otherwise, I'd have both legs bent if I could in that position. Don't think that's ever going to happen, no matter how much practice I give it. Remember to let your head roll on your block. And we've all got different width shoulders, so some of you might just want a thin single block or a thicker single block, or if you're really broad in the shoulders, those two blocks together might work better for you. When your hand comes by in front of you, change direction, so you're going to go down across the legs to begin with this time, and round. Let your elbow be soft. Move so that you're kind of creating softness around the shoulder joint. Loosen your wrists, loosen your fingertips. We're not trying to stretch the arm round, rather than just to let the arm find its way around. Knees up a bit higher, Kevin, so they don't open as much. That's it. Knees up a lot higher. Are you all right bringing your knees up higher? Yeah, and up in front, so your toes are off the front of your mat. That's it. So it's like you're sitting in a chair. Okay, last one, finishing this one off. And then just for a little break on that, catch hold of your ankle, stretch the front of your thigh. Press your knee back and press your hip point forward. And if you can't get hold of the foot, you can get your band, loop it around your foot, and try and do the same thing with the band on your foot. Probably around the front of your foot will work better. There you go. There you go. And then the thigh bone can stretch away. That's it. Another breath there. Bring the knees back together. Okay, now keep your chest facing forwards, keep your nose pointing forwards, and see if you can circle the top arm again. It won't go as far round. Don't turn your body to get it round further. Just let it go to where it can without your chest or your head turning at all. So you shouldn't feel any change in your right ear on the block. Yep, so see, where can the arm get to? It won't be anywhere near where it could go to before, without your chest or your head turning. Nose stays pointing forwards, centre of your breastbone stays pointing forwards. When your arm comes by the bottom arm, change direction. So the other one gave us rotation in the spine as well as opening in the shoulder. This one, there's no rotation in the spine, so there's more opening in the shoulder. So just be careful with it as you go around. Are you all right, Liz?
Yeah,
You can.
I thought we had to do the same.
Same thing, but yeah, keep it circling. Right round, but without turning your head or chest. Yeah. Okay, when your arm comes down, again, catch hold of your foot, stretch the knee away, stretch your hip point forwards, and this time roll your shoulder back more and see if you can get a little bit of kind of almost like you're making a capital D shape, I like to think. So my arm is the straight line of the capital D, and then the thigh bone and the spine create the curved bit of the capital D. I know it feels like that in my body, but it probably doesn't look anything like that. What you can do is with a straight leg down and then just slide the leg back but keep the hip forwards, and then it keeps that bit getting some length. Okay, let that foot land on the floor behind you, roll around onto your back, and then as you turn around you can shuffle onto your other side, so left ear to the floor. If you were using the band for your foot, then bring that round with you, and now we're on the other side for chalk circles. When you're there, then you can begin, but make sure everything's in place first. You want to have both legs right up in front, your toes off the front of your mat. Our first set is where we turn the head round with the arm circling. Turn your chest round. So when your circle is a semicircle and you're wide with your arms, at that point, both of our legs should still be trying to stay together and our chest is looking up to the ceiling. Complete this one and then change direction. Okay, so complete this one. And then go into the first catch hold of your ankle, where you take your ankle, thigh bone forwards, thigh bone back, hip point forwards. Just trying to get length down the front of the thigh, and almost feel like if I put my hand on Jane's knee, I have got you right, Jane, haven't I? And Sue's back there. Anne's back there and Sue's there. I should do that every class and then it might drill into me. You're going to try and push your knee into my hand. That's it. So you're trying to lengthen your thigh bone. That's it. Release, knees come back together. Now we keep the chest and the gaze forwards as you circle your arm again without the head or the chest moving. So it's not really a full circle now. It's more of a rainbow up toward the ceiling, or you might get further back than that. But you want to almost imagine like there's a wall behind your back that stops you from turning. Nice. When your arm comes by the bottom arm, change direction. Okay, then when you come down in front, again you catch hold of your foot, point your thigh bone back more, roll your shoulder back, push your foot into your hand so your arm is pulled straight. Your heel, instead of drawing into your bottom, your heel is pushing away from your bottom, and you're creating space between your heel, your bottom, your arm and your back. So notice how that feels for you. Try and get the knee down a bit, Camilla, so it's about hip level if you can, that's it. Notice how that feels in your knee, in your back, in your flexibility. Okay, and then release. Let that foot go to the floor behind and roll onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest and give them a little circle, open and closed. In a moment, we're going to roll up to sitting. So if rolling up to sitting doesn't suit you, then you come up via a way that feels comfortable. Hold the back of your legs. Roll up to sitting, bring your legs round behind and come to hands and knees. Cat-cow your spine with an inhale, tailbone and gaze lift. And with an exhale, tailbone and gaze under. Okay, and then keep it where your tailbone and your gaze are pointing upwards. And lower down to your forearms and tummy, so you're in Sphinx position. I've not turned home round. I'm sure you don't want to be on the forefront of the screen, do you? No. Good. In Sphinx, hips are on the floor, forearms are on the floor, and we're still in that upwards direction of the spine. If that feels a little much, forearms go further forward so you don't have to be as high. Shoulders pressed down, and there's an upward direction through the spine. See if you can engage your pelvic floor muscles in this position. It's a great one to practice pelvic floor strength with. So just holding the upward angle of the spine, but keeping the pelvic floor muscles on. So watch, you've got two choices here. Choice number one, which is the not advanced version, is to bring your arms down and keep your chest lifted. Maybe if you want to, float your legs. Choice number two is to bring your arms down, to bend your legs, catch hold of your feet. Watch, if this happens, yeah, when you get up, you've got hold of your feet, but this is off the floor, you're doing the straight leg option. Yeah, you need to be able to keep this down if you're going for this advanced version. Even in gentle Pilates, we can still practice some of the advanced things. So then you push your feet into your hands like you did on your side. You're not pulling in, bending the elbows. You're pushing back and then lifting. So the thigh bones are pressing back and the chest is open. Okay, so from the position you're in, take your arms down by your side, keep the chest at whatever amount you can off the floor. Some of you might be okay to lift the legs, and some of you bend, catch hold of your feet and push your feet back into your hands and hold that for 5 to 8 breaths wherever you are comfortable. So if you're not holding your feet, Sue, legs are straight. That's it, that's it. If you're not holding your feet, the legs are straight and you're trying to lift the thigh bones. That's it, Anne. Have you got a good hold? Is it just hard to get a hold? Yeah, okay. So get a little bit of a hold there. That's it. Yeah, and then elbows straight. That's it, and then lift. Nice. There you go. When you've done your 5 to 8 breaths, then rest in child's pose. Well done. Oh, sorry. Any version of child's pose that suits you, wherever you want to put your arms. Two more breaths. One more full breath. And then our very, very short standing part. Walk your hands towards your feet, ready to roll the spine up. Feet to hip distance, that's the same as 2 fists measurement between your feet. Bend your knees a little, let your head hang. And then pull your belly button up against your lower back so it starts to pull your lower back up. And then feel the front of your chest pushing the back of your chest up. And then feel your nose pushing your head up. And your head coming up to centre as you stand here. We're going to take that opposite arm lifting and the opposite knee lifting. And then inhale as you switch, exhale the other side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, don't do it any faster. Inhale, arms in front. Exhale, lift one heel, one arm. One more time, inhale, arms in front. Exhale and hold it there. Okay, whichever arm is in the air stays there. You could just balance like that. If you can, lift the foot, catch hold of it with your arm by your side. If you can, kick your foot back into your hand, make that D shape. And even more balancy, if you're up for it, is you tip forwards, lifting the thigh bone behind you. Then whatever you did, come back up and release. Well done. Switch to the other arm in the air, the other heel off the floor. Then catch hold of your foot if you can. If not, then just keep the toes on the floor and balance there. Maybe just right on the very, very tip of your toes, so you're working on your balance. Push the foot back away, so you're making the D shape, and then see if you can tip forwards by lifting the thigh bone behind. It's quite balancy, and you're doing brilliantly. Excellent. Make your way back up and release. Wonderful. Good. Come up to the top of your mat. Try and see if you can keep your spine up tall as you lower down to sitting. But if you need to, then you can put your hands on the floor. You can come onto hands and knees if you need to get down. Make your way all the way down onto your back. And we're going to take both your blocks under your pelvis this time into a full body stretch with both the blocks under your bottom. I would suggest lie down first and then put the blocks under. So we've got the hips a fraction higher before, full body extension. At home, maybe if you're using a pillow, you can fold the pillow over. And I would say it's more down toward the bottom end of your pelvis, so more towards your buttocks than it is towards your lower back curve. So that it's supporting directly underneath where the front bony points of your pelvis are. So it's directly underneath your 2 front iliac crest points and your pubic bone, and the block is kind of directly underneath that. If it's uncomfortable, feel free to take one or both the blocks out, and let's have that for another 30 seconds or so, just to relax. Catherine and Mike, whatever you were saying there, I hope it was suitable for all listeners. I can't hear you because I've got my microphone on, but I think you were off mute. It's all right, I've muted you again now. Bend your legs so your feet are flat on the floor. Tilt your tailbone up, lift the spine, take your block out, roll back down. One hand on each knee, guide your knees in circles. This time it's fine for your pelvis to move. Go the other way. And it's just time just to lie in whatever position feels most soothing, cooling, relaxing for you right now. Let your eyes close. See if your fingertips can just gently fall from your palms. Have a feeling of the skin across your body, very light, very loose almost. There's plenty in life that makes us tighten, including Pilates. Let this be your opportunity to release the tightness and embrace feeling loose. When we have those moments where we loosen our grip on our body, it also helps us to maybe loosen a little our grip on our ways, our habits, our expectations. Just feeling like we're living our life with a little bit of a broader perspective, a looser hold on stuff. See if you can breathe into that space of it's all okay. What I like to repeat sometimes is my timeline is divine. I'm right where I'm meant to be. Couple more breaths. When you bring your legs in, arms and legs up in the air, and we're just going to circle hands and feet. Just your hands and feet up in the air. Then the other way. Let's try a brain again. Right hand, left foot only. And the other way. Left foot, right hand only. And the other way. Right hand, right foot. Left hand, left foot. Right hand, right foot the other way. Left hand, left foot the other way, whichever one that is. Arms around the back of your legs. Roll up or to your side and come up. Thank you, everyone. I'm not too hot, are you? Feel all right? Oh, good. You actually did quite a lot there, so well done. Good, thanks, everyone. Bye-bye at home. What was going on when the camera flicked onto you both? You'll have to unmute yourself now because I've got you back on mute.